up, everybody? It's your boy Fudge, Shawn P. Greene. I don't know if you can hear me, but you definitely can't see me. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on. I got technical difficulties here. In the meantime, let's play a little video if I can find something fun to watch. How about something from the playlist? Here we go. This is something I did a while ago called Fudge Witless News.
Any damage to power lines and get your power back on until those winds drop back below the
wow, we're going to have lots of wind.
I see that happening hopefully by midday tomorrow.
65 miles per hour plus. We can get roof damage, down trees, down branches, missing totes.
By about 10, 11 o'clock tonight.
Wow. I hope we don't get 65 mile per hour winds.
So again,
wait a minute, that gives me a great idea. Wait a minute. I can answer some questions. I got something in the mail. All right, so here I am, Shawn P. Greene here in Buffalo, New York. It's February 24th, 2019. It's about 4:40 p.m. And I got this thing in the mail. It's a questionnaire. And I've been waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I'm like, man, when can I answer these questions? It's really real trivial questions that you have to be in the right position in order to be able to answer them. So here I am. I finally get a chance to answer this questionnaire. I'm so excited. Ready? I got it. See, I got this questionnaire. Got my pen. I'll go out. Let's go check out. Let's get these answers. Yeah. Maybe you guys can help me because I'm not getting anything. All right, so first question I got here is, it says how many, all right? First question is, how many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? All right, see, that's the question right there, see? All right, second question, how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? I'm going to try to answer a couple questions in the front yard. Hang on. I'm going to hurry up and get a street view. Maybe I can find some answers out here too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. This is a 9-question questionnaire. Okay. And it's a little windy out. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so right in the middle of the screen, answer these questions best I can. How's my hair? Okay, so how many years can a mountain exist before it's launched to the sea? I'm going to say 5 billion years. How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? 400 is about right. Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of stories about 400 already. Man, his head turned. Just doesn't see. Some people just don't care. Sorry, it's a little windy out.
All right. So basically, this is Sean P. Green Show. I'm Sean P. Green. You're watching a video I made. All right. That I made called Buffalo Windstorm. I did that February 2019. And it's basically just me doing a spoof about the wind. Okay. So that's all it was. I was bored one day, and which is almost every day if I'm not doing something, which is why I'm doing this show. Uh, put a little music bed here for you so you can feel comfortable. So if you want to see that whole little skit, it's basically me making fun of the fact that Bob Dylan, who I admire and I love his music, okay, so don't get me wrong, but Bob Dylan made a song called "Blowing in the Wind." The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. So we had a really bad windstorm, which we seem to get a lot here in Buffalo. And mind you, they say Chicago is the windy city. Yeah, it gets wind. I was there. I experienced some moments when it got real windy. But man, I tell you what, for us being at the very end of Lake Erie, we get some wind. And I think we have it worse at times. We got a lot of wind damage around here. But we don't get tornadoes like Chicago did. So I'll give you that one. Cheers. My Arizona tea. Thank you for watching. This is the Sean P. Green Show. I had little technical difficulties at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. this morning. Today is April Fool's Day. And no, it's not I have no jokes for you. I'm not gonna tell you something bad happened to me or something, you know, it's not a April Fool's joke that I had technical difficulties this morning. But today is a Friday as well. So it's hashtag Fun Facts Friday. And on top of that, I do plan to do this just for about an hour. But on top of that, I have this thing called Fudge Awareness Day, which already started. It's an ongoing thing all day long. It's going to be kind of like an awareness of things that I do or have done and are planning to do. Fudge is my nickname, and Fudge Awareness just brings awareness to the things I'm doing. That's all that is. And at noon today, I will be going on other platforms to have like a live fundraiser, kind of like a telethon, and that should go for about an hour as well. So, but today on the Sean P. Green Show, it's Fun Fact Friday. Happy April Fool's Day. We're going to talk about April Fool's Day. That's the fun fact today, the little story behind it. And it is very interesting. I kind of was looking at a little bit of the good stuff. But this little video I did called Buffalo Windstorm is on my YouTube channel. Go to SeanPGreen.com or look up Sean P. Green on YouTube. I'm pretty much the dominant Sean P. Green now on almost every social media platform. Sean Patrick Green, and so on. I'm going to invite myself. I got all these weird messages today. Oh, okay. We the Kingdom. Somebody was telling me about at youth group last night. One of the leaders at my church, known as the Bread of Life Church, and that's BOL Buffalo.com for the moment, is we had our youth group every Thursday, and I haven't attended a youth group meeting in a long time because it's preoccupied with school and traveling, a lot of other things going on. But I popped in last night, and one of the leaders referred me to We the Kingdom. Haven't seen the video yet, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm going to invite myself on camera too, which is just my cell phone. and you get a different angle of me sitting here like a lump. Let's see if I can find out. Oh, I got it. Okay, I don't have a camera upgrade on here. I have to invite myself with a link via Messenger. So just bear with me for a second as I do this. But this little skit that I did was just an homage to Bob Dylan. Wasn't trying to make fun of him, but I just noticed that, Bob Dylan says the answer's my friend is blowing in the wind. And I thought that was a good opportunity for me to do a little segment, a goofy little short snippet. And I might even reload this up somewhere. But this is a less than 5 minutes worth. And I do got a copyright um, notification on it because it does have Bob Dylan's song on it. So I didn't want to play it any further on this, so I don't have that on this particular program. But feel free to go to that. Look for you can just go to YouTube and say type in Buffalo Windstorm 2019. There's also a hashtag Fudge Witless News, which is another aspect of what I do is report fake reports sometimes. Sometimes it's an actual real moment that I've captured. That's a very serious moment. So Fudge Witless News is another side project that I kind of encapsulate myself into. Somebody made a comment. Glad there's some answers. So the answer, my friend, is blown in the wind. And I personally, I typed up a little questionnaire of like I wrote the lyrics basically to Bob Dylan's song "Blown in the Wind," and I put a little blank spot in there, and I filled out the questionnaire to what I think the answer is. And one of these days, I might just do that. I might send out fake questionnaires in the mail and have people submit them or do it, an online survey monkey type of thing or a Google Doc questionnaire. People submit all their goofy answers to the what's blown in the wind. So that's what that was about. And I turned it all the way down because we're getting towards the end of that segment. But I'll read them off to you now that I'm here sitting down at the studio. The questions are basically Bob Dylan songs, and I had to type it out on the screen so that you can see it also what the questions were because when I was recording, the wind was so powerful that you just couldn't make out what I was trying to say. I wasn't mic'd up. It was just a cell phone camera. So the wind was blowing. I was trying to say what I wanted to say. So I had to put the words on the screen so people could see exactly what I was saying. All right. So how many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Okay, that's a controversial statement nowadays. What is a man? Okay. What is a woman? These are controversial statements today. We can't even ask that question. You can't call nobody a man anymore. Okay? This is woke culture. This is 2019 on this video. It's already old news. You can't even talk about this. Sorry, I'm ranting. So the answer, my friend, is blown in the wind. And I'm outside. See, I got the Bob Dylan wind questionnaire that I typed out if you're watching this. And I got every question with a blank spot that you could fill out. And so I just kind of randomly answered it, you know. It's more of like an improv, if you will. So I'm gonna send this out some one day. The, So I think, and you got to watch it because all my answers, I speak most of my answers. Um, I don't remember what my answer was for that first question. How many seas must a white dove sail before he sleeps in the sand? I mean, seven seas, right? Maybe, maybe at least one sea. The answer though was in the wind. That's the joke. April Fools, ha ha ha. Answer was in the wind, ha ha ha. Like Josh Blue, the way he goes, ha ha ha. Like it's real funny. Thank you, Bob Dylan, for enlightening me and giving me an opportunity to be a little goofy. But I think didn't Bob Dylan sell all his music? Or there's that's like a trend lately. People, artists selling their entire catalog to their record label or you know the um the people who run that label or the major company, Universal Music Group, that kind of stuff. Here's another question: how many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? Wow, I don't know about that one. I don't know what I said. I think I might have put some of the type some of the answers on there as well. And I'm looking up in the sky. I say about 5 billion years. That was my answer. All right. So, what do you want? Check that out. Thanks for enlightening me with your participation in this questionnaire. I think I'm going to do that. How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? I know my answer was about 400 years based on stories from slavery in America and the oppression of the Jewish people. How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? It's interesting. Again, I guess I don't understand the analogy here. Bob Dylan asking that question in 1960. I think that's really about it's a political statement. I mean, obviously he was very political in his music. And I guess you have to have lived in the 1960s to understand that reference. So it's basically just questioning authority or humanity being not present in today's societal issues. So how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't exist? And I say some people just don't care, right? I say infinite years. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? It only takes one time. Just I got once. It takes just once for me. Oh boy, I'm such a dork. How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? Okay, so this can turn into a sensitive issue, especially for somebody who has a hearing loss issue or has lost an ear to like Jesus, time he healed that Roman soldier that Peter cut the ear off. I mean that soldier would be kind of sensitive at this point, this kind of question. So I think this is an insensitive question, but just one, you only need one ear to hear. Okay. That was my reply. What else? Last question. Okay. How many deaths will it take until he knows that too many people have died? I mean, it should be a zero, right? What was my response to that one? What's my response? Okay. Yeah. Zero. Zero is all it takes. There's too many people who died. That was it. That was my answer to that whole thing. Bob Dylan question, wind questionnaire. There's a lot of other movies and shows and films and songs and stuff that have questions in it. And as I discover them, I'll answer them for you. I think that's my public service to help people answer their questions. And as you see, my humble abode, I have my old cars in the back there. There's Bob Dylan, "Blown in the Wind." So Bob Dylan, to me, is one of the best songwriters of all time, and he's one of the most iconic songwriters, if you will. He he inspires a lot of people. A lot of people made jokes about who he is, how he sings, how he talks, so on and so forth. But he's definitely uh, one of my favorite pop icons in the United States, at least. All right, so Sean P. Greene, SeanPGreene.com. Go to my website, all my social media links. Today, for Fun Fact Friday, we have April Fool's Day. It's April 1st, 2022. And today I just want to talk about the origins of this April Fool's Day. And then we'll get into maybe, a list of jokes that some people will be or have done on them, try to keep it clean, of course. But go directly to Wikipedia because that's the primary source of all information, besides CNN, of course. All right, so April Fool's Day, or April Fool, which is a disambiguation of what April Fool's Day is. April Fool's Day is an annual custom on 1 April, consisting of, and now we're talking about the Julian and Gregorian calendars here, okay? Western culture, consisting of practical jokes and hoaxes, not hexes, but hoaxes. Jokesters often expose their actions by shouting April Fools at the recipient. Mass media can be involved in these pranks, which may be revealed as such. The following day, April Fool is not a public holiday, but it belongs to the public. Uh, it's not a public holiday in any country except Cyprus. How about that fun fact today? Cyprus, which is a national holiday. I don't understand that. No, not for April Fool's Day, but instead for a holiday called Cyprus National Day. Joke's on them. Ha ha ha. Cyprus. It was a Greek Cypriot nationalist paramilitary organization. No, that doesn't make sense. Ethniki. Okay, I'm not even going to get into this. Okay. I don't know why that's on. It's like a national holiday, a nationalists' holiday for people in Cyprus. Okay, but Cyprus national holiday, and oddly enough, Odessa, Ukraine, third most populous city in Ukraine, Odessa, where the 1st of April is an official city holiday. So Odessa, who is close to being possibly overtaken by Russia right now. Who knows if a ceasefire or a fake ceasefire announcement will continue? But Odessa, Ukraine, that city, is an official holiday for today. So I don't know much more about that, but 2003, it looks like it was made a holiday. In Interesting. The custom of setting aside a day for playing harmless pranks upon one's neighbor has been relatively common in the world historically. There's a lot of tame, lame, and calm pranks you can make. There's a couple of them I thought was pretty cool, like putting mayonnaise inside people's hand lotion. That's kind of funny, you know, to an extent. Doesn't hurt nobody. It just costs you a jar of mayonnaise and a jar of lotion. How about put lotion in the mayonnaise? Now that, ah, I like mayonnaise. According to Undercover Brother, white people love mayonnaise, but I like mayonnaise. I really enjoy the taste of mayonnaise. But here's the thing: the brand I switched. Fun fact Friday. I switched my brand. I used to use Miracle Whip when I was younger, mostly because my mother was the one that purchased the mayonnaise in the house when I was a kid. So I would I would have Cool Whip. Okay, I think Kraft makes it, Kraft Cool Whip. But as an adult, my my palate changed. So now I'm a Hellman's mayonnaise connoisseur. For whatever reason, I love that taste better. And it's funny, I used to hate that taste. I used to die by Miracle Whip. Now I hate Miracle Whip. I love Hellman's real mayonnaise. I don't like the Kraft stuff no more. It's a load of Kraft. So back to Fun Fact Friday. It's April Fool's Day. A dispute. This is the origins now. Okay, this is according to Wikipedia, primary source. Okay, which is not true. It's not the primary source. There's a if you go to Wikipedia, okay, when you see all these things, all the highlighted blue words you can click and you can find out more about it. It's just within Wikipedia's realm. But the good information will come from a primary source, which is cited. If you look at all the numbers that are at the end of certain sentences, you'll see where the information was provided from, and that's generally a rule is a primary source. It could be periodicals, newsletters, peer reviews, historical books, encyclopedias, all that stuff. That's primary sources when you do your research. But Wikipedia is a good guide and is not recommended to write a research. You should not write your research papers solely from Wikipedia's phrasing. Go to those links if you can find these sources. There's all different ways you can find. You got to go to like databases or all these different eco hosts. All these different places you have to find your sources. The library is still a valid place to go. Hardcover books, hard copies of primary sources. All right, so a disputed association between April 1st and foolishness is in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales from 1392, 100 years before America was conquered, quote unquote, discovered by the Western world. Canterbury Tales is a collection of 24 stories, about 17,000 lines of Middle English by Geoffrey Chaucer. Okay, so Geoffrey Chaucer was disputing it. In the Nun's Priest Tale, a vain cock chanticleer is tricked by a fox on since March began 30 days and two. Okay, interesting. So the 32nd day of March, which is April Fool's Day, April 1st, since March began. However, it's not clear that Chaucer was referencing April 1st, since the text of the nun's priest's tale also states that the story takes place on the day when the sun is in the sign of Taurus. So it's ast- astrology or astronomy, also, maybe possibly a mix. All right, so on and on and on. Okay, so Wikipedia, you can go to that Wikipedia page. April Fool's Day. In my YouTube page, I will put a link on it. You can check it out. Um, what else? What else is going on? Okay, are you okay? UK. This is current now. Long-standing custom in the UK. An April Fool's prank is sometimes later revealed by shouting April Fools at the recipient, who becomes the April Fool. A study in the 1950s by folklorist Iona and Peter Opie found that the UK and in other countries whose tradition is derived from the UK continues to practice this. The custom ceased at 1400 or 2 p.m., after which time is no longer acceptable to play pranks. Thus, a person playing a prank after 1400 or 2 p.m. is considered the April Fool themselves. Didn't know that at all. All right, so you got on the East Coast of the United States, you got less than 4 hours. Nay, you got 3 hours and 20 minutes for your joke to be done, or else you'll be the fool after 2 p.m. There you go. Fun fact Friday. Who would have knew? You got till 2 p.m. So if you're listening on the West Coast of the U.S., guess what? You got 3 extra hours. So 6.5 hours you got to get this done. 2 p.m. wherever you're at. That was in England. Now, if we're going on England's time, if that's the standard for the rest of the world, we're too late in America. Or at least the East Coast, the Central Time Zone, we're too late because I believe they're 5 hours ahead of us, and even Mountain Time. So only people on the West Coast, you got about 20 minutes to do your pranks, if indeed we're going by English time. Scotland, April Fools was really originally called Hunted Gawk Day. The name is a corruption of Hunt the Gawk, Gawk being Scots or a cuckoo or a cuckoo or a foolish person. Alternative name terms in Gaelic, the would be La Na Gokarit. I don't even. I'm not going to butcher it. Gawking Day, basically, or La Ruth Na Cootage, the day of the running of the cuckoo. The traditional prank is to ask someone to deliver a sealed message that supposedly requests some of or requests help. Okay, from somebody. In fact, the message reads, "Din lad, Dina smile, hunt the gawk another mile." Okay. The recipient, upon reading it, will explain they can only help if they first contact another person. They send the victim to their next person with an identical message with the same result. All right, so you're feeding the same message throughout same or April Fool's Day, you know, a joke message, a fake message. So that's the UK. That's UK's big deal. All right, so those are just tuning in. Fun fact Friday. We're talking about April Fool's Day. What's the origins? What are they doing? Okay. In Ireland, it was a tradition to entrust the victim with an important letter. Same concept, to be given to a named person. That person would read the letter, then ask the victim to take it to someone else, and so on. The letter, when opened, contained the words "Send the fool further." It's basically just ongoing messages. That's the origins of St. Patrick's. I keep saying St. Patrick's Day. That was 2 months ago already now. Okay. April Fool's Day, okay, in Poland. Now we can make jokes about that one. Non-Polish people, sorry. But in Poland, um, 1st April in Latin, Prima Aprilis, as a day of pranks, is a centuries long tradition. It's a day when many pranks are played, hoaxes, sometimes very sophisticated. They're prepared by people, media sometimes, which I found out yesterday, like a talk format radio show cannot do pranks because they're a news publication basically. But some media will play pranks, even public institutions. I think there's laws now. Some people can't even do that anymore. Serious activities are usually avoided, and generally, every word said on April Fools could be untrue. So I'm reading this from Wikipedia. They didn't change this text, as far as I know today. So I'm not trying to give you misinformation intentionally. I'm just reading from their contributors' information. The conviction for this so strong that as far as April Fools, the conviction for this is so strong that Polish anti-Turkish alliance with Leopold the First. Was the last time you heard of his name? Ruler, Holy Roman Emperor, King of Hungary, Croatia, and Bohemia, second son of Ferdinand III, Holy Roman Emperor. Leopold became heir apparent in 1654 by the death of his elder brother, Ferdinand IV. Okay, so a lot of history with the Polish anti-Turkish alliance with Leopold, signed on April 1st, 1683, was backdated to March 31st. However, for some in Poland, Prima Aprilis ends at noon. Okay, so in Poland, April for Fool's Day, or the jokes or whatever, ends at noon of April 1st, and Prima Aprilis jokes after that hour are considered inappropriate and not classy. So all you Polish folks out there, if you're true to the game, you're late because according to Polish time, we're already past noon. So you cannot, if you are true Polish, you identify as a Polish American, you cannot do any more April Fool's jokes because Polish. If we go by Polish time right now, it is already past noon. If you want to do it now as an American on the East Coast of the United States, you got an hour and 15 minutes to do a April Fool's joke. Okay. And once again, England, after 1400 hours, you cannot do any April Fool's jokes. If you identify as an English American and other United Kingdom type places. Ireland doesn't have that kind of thing. Nordic countries, news media outlets will publish exactly one false story. But if you're CNN, you're doing it all year. So uh, you have April Fools on CNN probably 4 or 5 times a day. Joke's on you, bro. If you believe all that. False flags, false information, false commentary, false points of view. Just like in the church, false teachers, false prophets. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of news, fake news stories. So, who's the fool? What is it? Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars asked the question, who's the fool? The one who fools or the fool who follows it? Something to that effect. I don't know the exact quote. That's something interesting to consider. Who's more of a fool, foolish person, or the one who follows the misinformation? All right, going back to April Fool's Day for fun. Hashtag Fun Fact Friday. Danes, Finns, Icelanders, Norwegians, and Swedes celebrate April Fool's Day through the media outlet with one false story. For newspapers, this will typically be a first page article, but not the top headline. So the Nordic countries, they're in on it. Italy, France, Belgium, French speaking areas. In Italy, France, Belgium, and French speaking areas of Switzerland and Canada, April 1st tradition is often known as April fish. Poison de Avril in French, Abril vis in Dutch, Piche de Abril in Italian. Of course, I'm butchering pronunciation. I don't speak these languages. Possible pranks include attempting to attach a paper fish to the victim's back without being noticed. This feature is prominently present in many late 16th or 19th century, early 20th century April Fool's Day postcards. Many newspapers also spread false story on April Fish Day, and subtle reference to a fish is sometimes given as a clue to the fact that it is an April Fool's prank. How about that? Bet you didn't know that. I didn't know that. So in the French speaking, like Canada, like mostly French speaking, French speaking Quebec, where my mother's family is from, Quebecois. I think that's how you would pronounce it. They call it April Fish Day. Interesting. Kind of like you take a piece of paper, you write a little note, kick me in the back, put that piece of paper out with tape on the back of somebody's, while they're walking past you. Hey, how you doing, buddy? And then now they got a kick me sign in their back, and people are kicking them. They're wondering why. But this is a picture, just like a fish cutout for the French speaking in Italy. Who knew? Who knew the Italians saying swimming with the fishes were referencing April Fool's Day? Eh, maybe, maybe not. In Germany, also, April Fool's prank is sometimes later revealed by shouting April, April at the recipient instead of April Fools. What, who, and in general, that becomes the April Fool, that person. So, in a little bit, we'll get into a couple pranks that are listed on the internets, mostly tame ones. Let's get back to April Fool's Day in the Ukraine. Specifically, it's specifically the city of Odessa. Okay, April Fools is widely celebrated in Odessa and has a special local name, Humorina, like probably humorous. In Ukraine, Humorina, I can't pronounce it. I don't even know how to pronounce letters that are in Ukrainian, Russian, or any Slavic language that's not written in a like a Latin-based text. This holiday arose in 1973, so it's kind of new for Ukraine while they were still part of the Soviet Union. So this April Fool's version of Odessa, 1973, an April Fool's prank is revealed by saying uh, April the 1st, I trust nobody. Interesting. So you can't fool me. It's another way of saying it. But it's in Ukrainian. I can't pronounce these words, so I'm not going to try to butcher it. So you say that April the 1st, I trust nobody to the recipient of the gag. The festival includes a large parade in the city center, free concerts, street fairs, and performances. Probably not so much today. Odessa is probably not doing any festivals right now because of Russia's persistence in Ukraine. Festival participants dressed up in various costumes walk around the city, fooling around, pranking passersby. One of the traditions of April Fools in Odessa is to dress up the main city monument in funny clothes. Um, it's got its own logo, cheerful sailor and a life belt, which is a lifesaver is what we call it. Whose author was the artist or whatever Ar- Arcady Sikun. Okay, I'm trying to pronounce this person's artist name. Arcady Sikun. During the festival, some souvenirs bear the logo and printed and sold everywhere. Hmm, good little hustle. Since 2010, April Fool's Day celebrations include the International Clown Festival, and both celebrated as one. All right, so they fused April Fool's Day in Odessa, Ukraine, with the Clown Festival, International Clown Festival. Bet you didn't know they had one of those. Yesterday, my guest, David M. Lewis from Niagara Falls, he dresses up as a clown and performs different events. So I encourage you to check out that interview. It was a great interview yesterday, great conversation, good friend. In the back to April Fools in Ukraine, Odessa in 2019, the festival was dedicated to the 100th anniversary of the Odessa Film Studio. You know, a lot of people in America don't realize because we're so inundated by Hollywood, California film that film around the world or cinema, whatever you want to call it, is alive and well and has been around as long, if not longer, than Hollywood productions. So here, 2022 mark, or in 2019, I'm sorry, marked the 100th anniversary of the Odessa Film Studio. Uh, it was the first film studio established in the Russian Empire. How about that? Fun Fact Friday hashtag is partially owned by the government and supervised by the Department of State Property Fund of Ukraine, together with the Ministry of Culture, so on and so forth. So there are other film studios that's mentioned, but Odessa on April Fool's Day celebrated 2019 their 100th anniversary of the Odessa Film Studio. Fun Fact Friday, and all events were held with an emphasis on cinema. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. All right, so we got a couple other countries. What do they do for April Fool's Day? We have Lebanon, Spanish-speaking countries, Israel, Iran. Iran celebrates April Fool's Day. That's weird. You wouldn't think a country as seriously devoted to their religion that there be any pranks in the ranks. Okay, Lebanon, which is I believe it's Lebanon has got a mixed history of what religion actually rules in it. April Fool's prank is revealed by saying, which I don't know what this is in Arabic, but it means 1st of April lie to the recipient. All right, so you got April Fools, April, or April Fish, or 1st of April lie, or April the 1st, I trust nobody. Okay, these are all phrases that are shouted to the recipient of a joke, a prank, or what have you in different languages. We say in America, April Fools, that's it. Simple. Many Spanish speaking countries, Dia de los Santos Inocentes. Okay, I speak or learn Spanish, so I understand. I can translate this a little better. The day of the Saint Innocent, or Holy Innocents Day is what they call it. It's a festival which is very similar to April Fool's, but it's celebrated in late December, basically after Christmas. 27th, 28th, or 29th, depending on the location. So they do celebrate it differently. Spanish speaking countries and the Philippines, because the Philippines, they speak Tagalog, but they also um, have a lot of Spanish influence in their language and their culture. Israel has adopted the custom of pranking on April Fool's Day, and Iran, it's called Drow 13 Ohm. I don't know. Faraverdin. Okay. It's the Latin version of, I'm sure it's Arabic, or it means the lie of Faradin 13th. And people and media prank on Faradin 13th, known as Sizda Bedar, that is equivalent of April 1st. It's tradition 13 days of Persian New Year. This day, people go out and leave their houses and have fun outside, mostly in natural parks. So, strict as a culture as that is, Persian New Year, it's a 13-day celebration. So, they kind of celebrate what April Fool's is in the Western world, but it's not quite the same. Hello, Mother. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday. Happy April. I think you spelled it wrong, but maybe you're speaking Canadian. I don't know. I know what you meant. Happy April. April's a great month for me personally, because, well, first of all, April Fool's Day is fun. April 1st is a day that I use as a fundraiser for things that I do. I do a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of stuff. For whatever reason, I got into doing promotions. I got into doing events, most of them free, and I pay for most of the stuff I've ever done out of my pocket. Short films, film competitions, um, Christian hip hop events. I got a Christian film festival that is kind of funded by the submissions, but sometimes it'll go over budget and it's out of my pocket. So to me, it's been a great activity, many activities and projects over the years that I make and produce and I'm involved in, because I just can't sit still. Once I want to do something, I just do it. So Fudge Awareness Day, I hosted on April 1st every year. The last 2 years we skipped it because of COVID. I didn't want to take away from people's misfortunes, so I didn't host anything. So today, at noon today, Eastern Standard Time, which is within an hour, I'm going to be switching over to other platforms. But you can find out more about what I'm doing. Go to ShawnPGreene.com. If you go to the top, I'll show you live if you're watching. Go to the top, go to the About page, okay, tab, and then right under that, it's Fudge, FUDGE. So you go, or just go to ShawnPGreene.com/Fudge. I'll give you the details right there on that page, what's going on today at noon. But it's going on, it's ongoing all day. We've been going on. We launched Fudge Awareness Day at 12:15 a.m. and it's going until 11:45 p.m. today, all day. Fudge Awareness Day. But I'm doing a live stream just for this event at noon today, Eastern Standard, in 1 hour. And I have a little snippet, a little Fudge Awareness Day announcement, save the date type of thing, talking about what it is. That's about a couple minutes, 15 minutes worth. A little more details, the links, everything's on that page. My PayPal account, if you want to donate to PayPal. And if there's other ways to donate as well, Cash App and all that stuff, I'll put that on there. But the live April 1st at 12 noon today, will be on Facebook, Facebook page Fudge Malloy, one word. The uh, um, YouTube channel Flavor Radio Network, and the Twitter account Flavor Radio, one word. So those are the platforms today at noon. I'm going live discussing Fudge Awareness Day, and it's basically going to be like my telethon that I do once a year. I've never done it live like this before, but you will get the other Jekyll and Hyde side of me today at noon. Fudge awareness, the Fudge persona, so to speak. Right now I'm just Shawn P. Greene, Sean Patrick Greene, the Shawn P. Greene Show. And yes, mother corrected herself. Yes, April, laughing out loud, crying. So, uh, mother, I love you. You're the best. You're a great supporter. I appreciate you, and it's always fun to hang with you and eat French toast and have meatloaf or spaghetti or whatever. Get back to hashtag Fun Facts Fridays. Fun facts. Fun Facts Friday. Spelled like it's supposed to be spelled. Today is April Fool's Day. We're talking about there are pranks people pull. And I got a list of pranks that, maybe to inspire you today. But if you're true to the game, remember you got till noon today. If you're Polish, you got till 2 p.m. If you're from the UK, and I think there's 13 days of it for Iranians, Persian New Year. So depends on where you're at, but many pranks that were pulled. Of course, probably the biggest, most. I don't think it was done on April 1st, but the War of the Worlds. Orson Welles, was it? I believe did a prank. Like New Jersey was being invaded by aliens. People thought it was real, but it was a radio show. It was entertainment, but it got people talking, man, a lot around the country, even thinking New Jersey was being attacked by aliens. What a prank! And I think there's a couple other ones. Okay, well, it's specifically for April 1st. Let's see, some pranks have appeared on radio and television stations, newspapers, and websites. Of course, we're in the digital age, and you can't fake alien invasion and expect everybody to believe it. Can't be done now because everybody's got cell phones and people are on the location that you're pretending to be at. But CNN does it anyways. Elaborate pranks have appeared on radio and television stations, newspapers, and websites and have been performed by large corporations. One famous prank in 1957, the BBC broadcast a film in their paranormal current affairs series, reporting to show Swiss farmers picking freshly grown spaghetti, what they call the Swiss spaghetti harvest. That's crazy. You're Thank you, mom. You're awesome. Or as my mom will say sometimes when she's happy somebody does something cool or celebrates, she goes, "Awesome." She'll say it that way. I'm joking. She doesn't always say it that way, but that's my interpretation of my mother's celebration of other people's victories and good news. So the Swiss spaghetti harvest. How about that? The BBC was soon flooded with requests to purchase a spaghetti plant, forcing them to declare the film a hoax on the news the next day. So you have to, like some news agencies, especially newspapers, they have to recant somehow, or they have to debunk news that they reported as incorrect, They got to do some sort of correction. By law, they have to do that. So, if you don't if you don't claim a hoax is not a hoax yet within a day's time, you know, you're just like CNN. With the advent of the internet and readily available global news services, and parody news source services, April Fool's pranks can catch and embarrass a wider audience than ever before. There's a lot of pranks on Wikipedia you can kind of reference. What are some notable ones? It's controversial. Okay, there was a lot of controversial ones, like 2011, Isaiah Thomas declared for the NBA draft. Isaiah Thomas already was he played already. That's probably the hoax. Thomas is short, and basketball players in the NBA are generally taller than average, as height given advantage to the playing basketball. I think the NFL draft is coming up, so if anything, we might hear a bunch of football references today. I think the NFL draft for 2022 is April 28th, at the end of the month, which is another reason why April's a cool month. Among other things, and I'll tell you why in a second. Besides April Fool's Day, you have Fudge Awareness Day, personal to me. Plus, the same month, my daughter Mariah was born on the 16th. 2 days later, it's my birthday, the 18th. So April's a cool month for me. April Fool's, Fudge Awareness Day, birthday of my daughter, my birthday. Of course, my other daughter Sadie was born in St. Patrick's Day, which is to me is the most significant holiday for me as well. And shout out to Sadie if you ever hear this, if you ever watch this. Love to I love to connect with you someday. I've connected with you actually before, but in recent years something happened. So I want to clarify some misinformation, some foolery information that's been spreading around. Clarify things. So, anyways, news agencies they got to clarify some of their stories that are hoaxes or jokes almost immediately, or at least the next day. I don't know what the actual law is, but there's 60 outrageous April Fool's pranks you can, according to magazine Parade. There's 60 of them. They published this yesterday at 7 a.m. and they're kind of tame. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This list is kind of weak. There are a couple interesting things you can do. If you want to be a goofball, silly pranks that don't really hurt nobody. Create Brussels sprout cake pops that look super appetizing but become quite a surprise at first bite. I mean, not wrong with Brussels sprouts, but if you think you're going to get a nice sweet piece of cake and you bite into that, yeah, I can imagine that'd be funny. Fill up donut box with in a like a Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts box with veggies. Okay, at the break room. Let's see what else. Send automatic fun cat facts to your friend's phone through the Cat Facts app and LIS as well. I don't like LOL as an app on my phone. I had it on there and I just completely took it off. It was so annoying. It would pop up and take over my screen. And I'm not into that. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. And if you're tech savvy, I'm sure you've had all kinds of good, jokes you play on all your friends and family. Plenty of annoying email subscriptions that you can sign your. Now, me, that's something I would do. Sign up people emails with all these jokes or whatever all day and every day and get text messages. Find infamous typing dots. Let's see, tape a coworker's computer mouse like underneath the mouse itself. See this little thing? If you tape it up, they can't. If they'll move it around, and they can't use it because the little, whatever you call it, the diode or the light, the beam of light there doesn't see the surface. Let's see, rubber snakes, chocolate chip cookies that are actually raisins. All right, you know, it's, there's a lot of ideas here. Stick a straw in a yellow mustard packet, put it in somebody's drink, so they take a sip. They think they're drinking pop soda or whatever soft drink you want to call it. They get a nice mouthful of mustard. People that hate mustard, that would probably make them mad. I like mustard, but if I'm expecting to have, Coke in my sip and I get mustard, I'd be like, what? So freeze a bowl of cereal. I've seen this a couple times, and milk overnight. Give it to your children in the morning. Um, all right, signs on things and Jello. Put like in the office Jello. You can put stuff in Jello. Jim on the Office television show put stapler in the Jello. That was kind of funny. Mix M&M's, skillets, and Reese's Pieces in one bowl. That's a mouthful of just ugh. Snake in a can gag. That's a classic. There's a lot of things you can do. Put a for sale sign. I like this one. If you want to just do something for your neighbors, put a for sale sign out in your yard for the kids to go to before they go to school, or put it on your neighbor's yard with a fake number or a Google Voice number. Speaking of which, call me on my Google Voice. Here it is, 716-253-1870. Leave a text message, leave a voicemail. You can do whatever you want, and if it passes, I'll maybe talk about it on the next show or what have you. All right, so in about 45 minutes, I'm going to go live for the Fudge Awareness Day broadcast. That's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. Today was just Fun Facts Friday about April Fool's Day, and I appreciate you listening, watching. Thanks for letting me enlighten you with my video of me being a fool, talking about the answers, my friend, are blowing in the wind, which is Bob Dylan's song. And the video was about me going out there in the wind storm in Buffalo with a questionnaire of the Bob Dylan Wind Questionnaire, answering all the questions that are on it live. That's kind of what I've done. And that's under hashtag Fudge Witless News, another little project of mine I do for free. Basically, anything newsworthy, whether it's foolishness or if it's something that's really serious, it doesn't matter. Fudge Witless News is a real part of me. If something in my sphere of influence or something around me happens that's newsworthy, I'm on the scene. A couple years ago, there was a very serious crash that happened right in my neighborhood on Seneca Street, and as a result, two people died from it. Very serious situation. My footage got on the news, and that was nice and all that, but that wasn't really my incentive. My incentive was to offer more footage of the scene because the news stations have a limited view of what was going on around them, and me being there on site immediately after it happened gave more perspective for some of the investigators, some of the survivors of the victims. So to me, I feel like I did a very good service by doing that. So stuff like that I'll do. I'll put a little news report of something that happened. A couple other accidents happened weeks before that in that same area. So a lot of red flags go up when stuff like that happens. So, and Fudge Witless News is not necessarily me being goofy, but it's also my persona Fudge, watching things around me that people are acting stupid, and I see things that are done that are stupid. I'm going to report on that too. So another aspect of why you should join me at 12 noon for Fudge Awareness Day. Fudge Malloy is my nickname. I go by that, especially in the Christian hip hop world. But I also Fudge Witless News as a photojournalist side of me, reporting basic stuff, things that happen around me. And I also have events that I put off, and I come off as a host as Fudge. So, some concerts, some live events, and a film festival. So, thank you for watching. I'm going to get ready for the next part of that segment, and I'm going to put it up here for people who are watching the Fudge Witless. No, I'm sorry, Fudge Awareness Day. Here's the once again, the page is ShawnPGreen.com/fudge, and this is the landing page. We'll give you all the details of what I'm doing in the next about 40 minutes from now. Get ready for it. Doing a lot of stuff with events, podcasts. This is one of them. I got other things I'm planning that, now I'm done with school. Now's the time to check it out. So, all right. Thank you for watching. I'm Shawn P. Greene. The Shawn P. Greene Show, Fun Facts Friday, April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2022. I had a good time hanging with you. Thanks again for my mother. Always watching, always commenting. My number one fan. And Shawn P. Greene, I'm about to get fit coming soon. So keep it locked.